Collar or this? Collar.
What is it?
Something they touching here. I think it was a collar.
Let me see.
I think it's just a.
Okay, just turn your face. No, look at the camera. Hey.
Hey everybody, how you doing?
So today we're going to talk about what we missed about the U.S. and what we didn't miss about the U.S.
And in particular, the things that we missed are things not the obvious things like our kids and family, stuff like that, friends. The things that we kind of forgot that we missed until we got there.
Yeah.
First on that list is something that, we've mentioned that we liked before, that we love. And it's been so long since we had it, we kind of forgot about it until we got to the States. And that's Chick-fil-A. Can't say how much I love Chick-fil-A. The chocolate chip cookies, the best. I know I said this before. Spicy chicken sandwich, great. Regular chicken sandwich, great. Cobb salad, great. Lemonade. I don't drink tea, but the sweet tea is supposed to be good too. Even the milkshakes.
Well, you can see how much you really like Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, really enjoy Chick-fil-A. Obviously, there aren't any here. If there is one somewhere in Ecuador, someone let me know. I'm not going to travel to get to it, but there definitely is one here in Santa Atlanta. Number 2 on the list, and this is more of a me thing than both of us, but Walmart. And LaShawn can tell you, I've never liked going to Walmart, but you can't deny how convenient it is. There always seems to be a line, there's never enough cashiers. It's just an annoying place to go to. But at the same time, they have everything. And it's just so convenient. It almost makes me upset to know that it's so convenient to go to Walmart and I hate going there.
I go to Target.
Yeah, she goes to Target.
Okay, so now you know.
I just like Target.
I mean, when we went to the States last time, when I went into Target, I was kind of frustrated because it was never a time when you went in Target, they didn't have cashiers coming to the register to alleviate the long lines.
Yeah.
This time, it was maybe two cashiers, and everyone was going to the self-checkout.
Yeah.
That irritated me.
Yeah.
But this time, Target kind of disappointed me in how their checkout lines were. But other than that, I usually go to Target.
Okay, number 3. This one might take a second to explain. Being able to go wherever we liked is a plus. And what we mean by that is, in the US, you have everything is at your fingertips in one way or another. And you can pretty much get anywhere in a decent amount of time to get to wherever you need to be, or whatever you need to get. At the same time, on the flip side of that, we also hated having to drive everywhere we needed to go to get anything we needed. That part was annoying.
Yes.
And we honestly forgot how annoying that was. So it's a
catch-22.
Yeah, catch-22 where
you like the access or the ease to go to wherever you need to go, but it's not in walking distance.
Yeah.
So you don't have where you can choose to walk to the store or drive to the store.
Yeah. We're sure, of course there's places in the States where it's more walkable. Catch-22, being able to go anywhere, get anything, but at the same time having to go anywhere, having to go everywhere to get whatever you want. Here's one that we didn't really talk about the last time we made a list, and that was in the US, I know there are lots of bad drivers. That being said, in comparison, it's much safer to drive in the US, if that makes sense. And what we mean by that is the traffic laws in the US are more robust, and as much as if you're watching this video and you never really traveled outside the country, you don't realize how respectful and how organized traffic can be in the United States.
Yes.
When you compare it to places where people just kind of do whatever.
But there's another side to that.
Yeah.
Because in other countries, even though they don't have all the traffic lights, stop signs, the flow of traffic moves
It keeps moving.
a lot faster and more convenient.
Yeah.
And they don't have a lot of car accidents.
Yeah.
But when you look at the US, because I will say this, when you learn to drive in the US and then you go to other places, it seems chaotic.
Yeah.
However, it works for them. It's just we're uncomfortable
Yeah.
with driving in a place that don't have those traffic lights, or
Yeah.
you can't. Motorcycles can't just come flying by a car
Yeah.
before you get ready to make a turn, because you may,
Yeah.
you're going to have an accident. So in the U.S., you don't see motorcycles weaving in and out of
Rarely
cars.
see a scooter.
Yeah. So I think we feel uncomfortable when we go to other countries because we're so used to, you can't do that.
Yeah, the U.S. traffic, and like I said, I know, people say traffic in the U.S. sucks. It kind of does in a way, but at the same time, it is much more organized than you may know.
Yes.
Even something as simple as obeying the lines in the road.
Yes.
Someone sways over a line in the U.S. and people are like, oh, what's this person doing? Are they drunk? A police officer might pull them over. It's not like that here. People will ride down the middle of a line forever.
And you don't have cars, the light is about to change to green. I'm already in the middle of the intersection.
Or already going before the light changes.
Right.
Yeah.
You're not going to have that in the U.S. because,
you run a red light in the U.S. and,
that's it.
Yeah. So, that's one of those things that we kind of forgot that we missed, just organized traffic. So next on the list, this is one kind of for me, is access to one-stop hardware stores. There are a ton of Ferretaria's hardware stores around Ecuador, even where we live here in Santa Elena. They're everywhere. They're really small, and they may have the things that you need. And there's bigger hardware areas in on the supermarket, but there's no, not where we live at least, there's no Lowe's or Home Depot or equivalent where you can get lawn equipment, gardening, lumber, electronics, hardware tools. There's no huge one-stop place for those things, because in the States, if there was a store we went to more than Lowe's, I don't know what it was, other than just the grocery store, because you could find everything. And if you couldn't find it, you could order it. I kind of miss that. Here where we live, we don't own a big home here or anything like that. So we don't have the need necessarily for a huge hardware store. But just knowing that it was here would be a relief to me. Just knowing that I could go to a one-stop place, get anything I needed.
So what I was, when we were talking about this earlier, just to give you an example of what he means by, stores everywhere. If you grew up in the 70s or before, you know that you had back then was called a flower shop, or, your nursery. And then you had your lumber place where you got your lumber. That was separate. And then you had your tools place, which was Western Auto, because you kind of used those tools to work on a car. So you had a Western Auto. And then what else do they have? Oh, and so if you need something to exterminate, you go to the exterminator store. So you had a store for each of these things, to where Lowe's brought it all into one. And yes, it's very convenient. But there's also a downside. Lowe's don't have all the different types of plants you may need, or the type of soil. So the soil. So you go to a nursery, they have that organic soil.
Big box hardware stores, not just like the Ace Hardware. Ace Hardware's pretty good, but the Lowe's type hardware stores, where you can buy roofing and like
everything to build a house
and mulch in the same place. All right, this is another one for me. So, being the gadget nerd that I am, I really miss having a Best Buy. I know in the States, Best Buy is kind of taken over as like the default electronics store. There used to be a lot more electronic stores around, you know, mom and pop ones, Circuit Cities, places like that. They're not around really like that anymore in the States, so I'm not gonna spend time on that. But just having a dedicated electronics store that pretty much sells anything, any gadget that I may want, I love it. When we were in the States, I think we went to Best Buy maybe for 4. I know we might have went like 4 times.
Oh, you talking about when we went? I was about to say on a regular basis.
Oh, yeah.
That was you.
On a regular basis, I used to go to Best Buy all the time.
It was like that was your.
That was like my favorite place.
That's his window shopping.
Yeah, I just love going to Best Buy. And like I said, like they would have everything. And being that you don't have a place like that here, I miss that because it's a one-stop shop for everything. Like you may come across a Samsung store here.
I love these one-stop shops.
I love one-stop shops. Yes. Because as a guy, I just want to go to a place, get the thing I want, and go back home. I don't want to go around.
Oh yeah. So for men, they'll go over here, they get what they need, and then they remember, oh, the wife wanted something, so let me go over here. They have it, and then just go grab something. Don't look at the price.
Yeah.
Don't look at the name, or may look at the name and just grab it, and they got it all in one place. So.
Yeah. I don't want to do a whole bunch of riding around. There's that, whatever. I want everything in the same place.
Yeah, we like traveling. We want to look.
So yeah, I miss having a Best Buy or equivalent because we just don't have that here. Now there may be stores like that, you know, maybe in the bigger cities like Guayaquil, Quito or something, but not here where we live. So I definitely miss that. So next up, one thing that, you know, being here in a Spanish-speaking country for over a year, you forget how awesome it is to be able to speak the language to someone and communicate exactly what you're looking for and exactly what you want and not question whether you said it right. So just being able to go back to the States and, you know, like I said, we kind of forgot just being able to speak English. Ordering food, you have to kind of change your mindset to not order food in Spanish and just speak, you know, your native language. And we kind of missed being able to do that, and we forgot how much we missed being able to do that. Fortunately for us, the last time we were in the States recently, we just came from Europe, where even though we were in Italy and France, pretty much everyone spoke English. So we didn't really speak any Spanish for the three weeks that we were in Europe. So it was an easier transition than coming straight from Ecuador to the United States. But still, just being able to communicate, get on the telephone and call someone. Like we haven't been able to do that here unless we're calling someone else who speaks English. Something that you take for granted really in the States is something that, you know, we kind of miss. How about you?
I agree, totally. So the next one is upfront pricing. So what I mean by that is when you're going to some of the small stores here, whether it's in Salinas or La Libertad, a lot of the stores don't have pricing. Small ones. I'm not talking about your Tias and
Commissariatos.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when you go in, you know, there's no pricing, so you have to ask, and they can just give you any number. I miss that when I got back to the States, because when you go to a small store, there's pricing. You know what your upfront cost is going to be. You don't have to ask someone, and they can't say, oh, this is $10 when they really sell it for $5.
Right.
So I missed that. It felt good to just walk in the store and know what it costs, and you know what you want to spend instead of you got to make sure you have enough because you don't know what they're going to tell you.
Yeah. And there's another thing with upfront costs is if you're ordering something, or how do you put this? Let's say you need to have something delivered in the States. Ordinarily, if you order something out of a store, they're going to tell you exactly how much it's going to cost to deliver. They're going to schedule it. Here, you may have to ask questions like, okay, well, how much is it going to cost to deliver? Well, where do you live? I live here. Oh, it's going to be, $10. Like, would you just come up with this number from somewhere? We kind of missed just having here, this is the solid price.
Right.
The
delivery charge is this. Yeah.
Yeah. So upfront pricing is definitely different here.
Yes.
Because it usually doesn't exist. And lastly, one thing that we forgot we missed is access to information. So I'm going to give you an example. It's a simple example, but it means a lot. It means a lot. Let's say you wanted to go fishing in the United States. We'll use Virginia as the example. Well, you can, if you want to know what the regulations are where you're living or what type of fishing you want to do, you can easily go to the Virginia Department of Fish and Game website. You can even download their app. You can get every fishing regulation. You can find out how much it costs to get a saltwater license versus a freshwater license. You can get a combo license. You can find out how much it is if you're over 65. You can get multiple years, whatever. And then you can order the fishing license from them and get a digital copy. And you know exactly what you're allowed to do and what you aren't allowed to do. With that, there are plenty of places to go fishing in the United States. And it's usually posted, if it's private property, public, if it's paid, if it's a paid pier or whatever, there's something everywhere indicating I can fish here or you can't.
Yes.
Or you have to pay to fish here or you don't. You have to have a license here or you don't. Those things are usually very upfront. And that's something that is basically non-existent here. You're kind of just rolling the dice. Or you're going on someone else's word.
Yes.
But you don't know where they got that information from. And if it's something official, it's almost impossible to find unless you know someone who knows exactly where it is. Yeah, that's just one example of being able to easily access information. Because if I just want to get a driver's license, it's kind of convoluted to go through the system here just to figure it out. When you can just go on the DMV website in the United States and in Virginia, and it's pretty laid out for you. Now, maybe, you know, when we grew up here, it might be a little different, might understand a little different. But for someone just coming in, it is difficult to find information. Yeah, ease of information. That's just one thing that's kind of annoying.
Yeah, those are some of the things that we missed. And I feel like if you sum it up, it's just the ease of access to many things.
Yeah.
Versus ease of access to limited things here. So.
Yeah. And even with those things that we said we missed while we were in the States, we were still ready to come back. We were still ready to come back.
Thanks for watching.
And please like, share, subscribe, check our merch store, and we'll be back for more very soon. Bye.